Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe. Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Radhe Jayo Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jagannath Swami Nayana Pathagami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu Me. Jaya Gauranithai 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 Jaya Gauranithai. Jaya Gauranithai 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 Jaya Gauranithai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Namo Vishwapad Paramahansa Parivraj Jagacharya Ashtotter Shate. His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. His co-founder Acharya Beauty Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrindav Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि शिकोर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड की जय जय. श्री श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय. श्री श्री नवद्वीप मायपुर धाम की जय. गंगा माय जमुना माय की जय. भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. उपस्थित समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishwadaya Krishna Krishna. Jai Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Katapana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today reading from Canto 2, Chapter 7, titled Scheduled Incarnation, text number 42. Yesham saesha bhagavan dayayed ananta. Yesham saesha bhagavan dayayed ananta. Sarvatmana shrita pado yadi nirvaklikam. Sarvatmana shrita pado yadi nirvayalikam. Te dustaram atitaranti cha devamayam. Te dustaram atitaranti cha devamayam. Naisham mamaham iti dhishva shrigala bhakshe. Naisham mamaham iti dhishva shrigala bhakshe. Yesham saesha bhagavan dayayed ananta. Sarvatma shrita padoyadi nivayalikam. Te dushtaram atitaranti cha devamayam. Naisham mamaham iti dhishva shrigala bhakshe. Yesham shaesa bhagavan dayayed ananta. Sarvatmana shrita pado yadi nirvayalikam. Te dushtaram atitaranti cha devamayam. Naisham mamaham iti dhishva shrigala bhakshe. Yesham saesha bhagavan dayayed ananta. Sarvatmana shrita pado yadi nirvayalikam. Te dushtaram atitaranti cha devamayam. Naisham mamaham iti dhishva shrigala bhakshe. Yesham swayesha bhagavan mayayed ananta. Sarvatmana shrita pado yadi nirvayalikam. Te dushtaram atitaranti cha devamayam. Naisham mamaham iti dhishva shrigala bhaksha. Word by word translation. Yesham, unto those only. Shah, the Lord. Eshaha, the Bhagavan. the personality of Godhead, Dayayet, thus bestows his mercy. Anantaha, the unlimited potential. Sarvatmanaha, by all means, without reservation. Ashrita Padaha, surrendered soul. Yadi, if such surrender, Nirvaya Likam, without pretension. Te, those only. Dustaram, insurmountable. Atitaranti, can overcome. Cha, and the paraphernalia. Devamayam, diverse energies of the Lord. Na, not. Esham, of them. Mama, mine. Aham, myself. Iti, thus. Dhi, conscious. Shwa, dogs. Shrigala, jackals. Bhakshe, in the matter of eating. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. But anyone who is specifically favored by the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, due to unalloyed surrender unto the service of the Lord, can overcome the insurmountable ocean of illusion and can understand the Lord. But those who are attached to this body, which is meant to be eaten at the end by the dogs and the jackals, cannot do so. Bhaktivedanta purport. The unalloyed devotees of the Lord know the glories of the Lord in the sense that they can understand how great the Lord is and how great is his expansion of diverse energy. Those who are attached to the perishable body can hardly enter into the realm of science of Godhead. The whole materialistic world, based on the conception of the material body as the self, is ignorant of the science of God. The materialist is always busy working for the welfare of the material body, not only his own but also those of his children, kinsmen, community men, countrymen, etc. The materialists have many branches of philanthropic and altruistic activities from a political, national, and international angle of vision. But none of the field work can go beyond the jurisdiction of the misconception of identifying the material body with the spiritual soul. Unless, therefore, one is saved from the wrong conception of the body and the soul, there is no knowledge of Godhead. And unless there is knowledge of God, all advancement of material civilization, however dazzling, should be considered a failure. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Karanjana Shalakaya Chakshulmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Nagdatan Tam Tam Samjivam Swadvaitam Savadutam Vaihara Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taru Vesha Kripa Sindhuve Cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kaviviriritam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatakam Bhubhi Grinnati Debhurida Jana Bhubhi Grinnati Debhurida Jana. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, we are starting from here, text 42. Last time we did cover 41 a week back. That was before the start of the World Harinam Week. And during the week, devotees actually picked up several verses to different verses from different cantos to glorify the holy name. So we just quickly go back to 41 just quickly, and then we will start going through 42. So the translation of 41 was, neither I nor all the sages born before you know fully of the omnipotent personality of Godhead. So what can others who are born after us know about him? Even the first incarnation of the Lord, namely Sesha, has not been able to reach the limit of such knowledge, although he is describing the qualities of the Lord with 1,000 faces. So, in this section, Lord Brahma explaining the glory, actually explaining and also describing the glories of Lord Hari to Narada, his son. And some of the points that we went through, just to, so that, we come back to the same platform where we are, that here Lord Brahma is actually explaining, like previously explained all the incarnations, and now the main point that Lord Brahma emphasizing is the surrender. Like without surrendering, one cannot understand the glories of the Lord. So, and also the Lord, he is also omnipotent, and he also, he is fully swarat, independent. So you can't make him, appearing before yourself unless he decided to do that. In that context, we gave that example last time that in the middle of the night, if we want to see the sun, that no matter whatever scientific progress that we have done, we will not be able to see the sun. It's only by the law of the nature, at a specific time, the sun will come out. Similarly, with Krishna, no matter whatever we try to do, no matter what other processes we take, if we don't surrender, Krishna will not appear. So that was the first point. Then, what is that path? That for surrender, first step to accept Srila Prabhupada's teaching. So that was the first, Srila Prabhupada's, reading Srila Prabhupada's book. And then the next one is focusing on Shravanam. When we first get introduced to Srila Prabhupada's book, then we read and listen. More than reading, also listening more and more. And when we listen, that actually exposes us to the knowledge. And when that knowledge comes, that we see that when that knowledge comes, from that knowledge, we actually get the intelligence. That from there, Krishna actually starts to help us. And then the faith grows. And that faith in this Kali Yuga get tested every point of time in our life. Like every time, because we are in this Ashvashvatam Dukhalayam, like, there are lots of miseries, turbulence, hard times comes, and it actually hurt our faith. Not like, hurt in a sense, like, it actually comes and, what's that word? That it actually ambushes our faith time and again. That, okay. And then we start questioning that, okay, is it really for us? I'm doing the right thing. Why it's happening to me? That's always the same thing. I'm doing the right thing, probably from my perspective. But then that faith, if that faith is there, then even someone is under the misconception that they are right, that faith will help them to overcome that. And ultimately made them understand that, okay, you're thinking that you're right, but also try to understand what happened on the other side. So all those things are here, and that's why Krishna helps. But that surrender needs to be there. So we, that. And then if we don't have that surrender, all this Vedic knowledge also will not make any sense to us. Last week when we were discussing that Canto 5, where all these descriptions are given for how the universe have been created, that how that whole thing has been created, it will not make sense if we don't have the faith. And also the other point discussed that Lord Brahma is giving the name of all these exalted personalities, and this is actually at the beginning of the creation. All those personalities hasn't come yet, but Brahma is explaining them. So how can you reconcile that? That it was at the beginning of the time, Lord Brahma is already saying that they are coming, they are here, they are they are exalted devotees. So that's why the word was inconceivable from our material senses to understand all those things. So that's where we ended, that have faith and everything will be all right. So now in this verse, in the similar line of thoughts, Lord Brahma is explaining that this devotional service to Krishna, actually anyone can practice it. There is anyone can practice and actually achieve perfection. We saw that, okay, lots of examples that we see, it doesn't actually go through depend on the caste and creed. So it's not only for the Brahmanas or for the Kshatriyas. We saw that there are so many examples of the kings. They were really pious. They were so exalted devotees. At the same time, and also the demigods, they were so exalted devotees. But at the same time, we see from demoniac families, devotees they became devotees, and they are such exalted personalities, like Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj. So, if someone sincerely takes up the devotional service, then no matter where they come from, it doesn't matter. So anyone can perform it and achieve the perfection of life. Then, as I said, usually, the Vedic knowledge was for the Brahmanas to take it first. The way it used to happen in the Varnashram, Brahmanas used to get the knowledge, and then they actually make it understandable in a way that all the other Varnas, they understood that. So for Kshatriya, they explain it in a way, and for Vaishyas and Shudras, they explain it in a way. This is that example where, for a bird mother, when bird mother bring the food for the little birds, whatever that food was, the little birds, they can't actually digest them. Because obviously they are little, their digestive system is not that strong. So what the bird mother does, she actually chews chew all those food up to a certain level that she knew that all her children will be able to eat them and digest them. So that was actually that is the similar responsibility for the Brahmanas. All this Vedic knowledge is with there. Like it's not, some of these knowledges are like very hard to understand, to reconcile. But they actually put it in a way that we can understand that knowledge. So that's why, like when we see the Brahmanas, they actually give us the absolute truth. From the Vedas, we get the absolute truth. Anything else that we see outside, they are relative truth. They are not absolute. So we can see just outside. If you see, if you just for a simple example, if you ask someone that why you are alive, why I'm alive? Because my heart is here, my heart is pumping blood, and there is all this organ, my brain is there, my central nervous system is there. So because of all these things, I'm alive. But that's not the real truth. That's a relative truth, that by just seeing that, they are coming up. And also that person actually haven't seen all those things. It just read in the book. We know from the scriptures that why someone is alive, why the body is alive. Why? What's the reason? Why the body is alive? Why do you say that the body is alive? Yeah, the presence of the spirit soul. When the presence of the spirit soul is there, then the body is alive. So that's the absolute truth. The relative truth is all the other things, what was discovered. They are not the absolute truth. So to get the absolute truth, you have to go to the absolute authority. Someone from a bona fide sampradaya, from linkage, who is bringing this knowledge, which was given by Brahma, and this Narada is getting this knowledge. So if you don't take it from there, you will not get the absolute truth. So we, even the presence of the soul that we have heard, even when I was growing up, but have I read that in any one of my science books? No. Was there any description of soul? I don't remember. There was any physics or chemistry or biology book. Biology is actually the science of the human anatomy, right? Has it ever described anything about soul? No. So that's why it's very hard to get those kind of knowledge there. The only place that we get is from the Vedas. But again, if someone just says, okay, I can get that knowledge, I'll just go and I'll open the book, I'll start reading. Not going to happen. You have to get the knowledge from someone who is from the bona fide, who is a bona fide representative. Because otherwise, you will be reading all these books. And that's what the problem happened with the Gyanis. That mental speculation. And once you get into the path of mental speculation, what happened? It's all described, in this in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the prayers, everything. It's actually explained that how, if someone go into mental speculation, what happened? In Brahma Samhita, right? 534. Panthas tu koti satavatsara samprayamyo vayo athapi manaso munipungavanam sope asti yat prapadasim niyavichada tatve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So the translation goes like, the conditioned souls may try to understand the Lord for many billions of years through their mental speculation. But the Lord is still inconceivable to them. So it's already mentioned there, by mental speculation, it's always be there. Someone have the book, I'll just pick up the book, I'll try to read it. But you can meet with scholars, that day I was watching Abhay Charan, and then one of the devotees came to Srila Prabhupada like in the storefront in US in the very early days, and came to him and said, Swamiji, I have Bhagavad Gita, and I read Bhagavad Gita every day. And Prabhupada said, oh, very nice. Open the book and read anything from there. And he was like, sorry? He's like, just open it, just read anything. And he opened and he read a paragraph from one of the places. Then Prabhupada says, okay, what did you understand? Then he said, actually, to tell you the truth, I didn't understand anything. Although I read it, but I don't understand it. Then Prabhupada said, yes, actually that's the first, like that's a good sign. You are taking the first step, that you are acknowledging that you are not understanding it. The Jnanis, often they become so much inflated with their false ego, they just come up with all kind of weird kind of explanation. And for intelligent class of men or women, when they listen to it, first they listen and they said, okay, but after sometimes when they can't match the dots, they said, it doesn't make sense. And that's why Srila Prabhupada's books are so wonderful and so amazing, that if a person who is not educated that much, or even a person who is like highly scholar, PhD, doctorate, everyone can join the dots. And they said, yes, it's simple. The main thing is, it should be simple. It shouldn't be something that it just goes over the head and makes sense. But how that process of simplifying happen, that is also a process. That we see that we say that the process is Srila Prabhupada said, the process is simple but not easy. So how that happened? If we go through and understand that if we are going through this process, like all of us now in this journey, at some point of time, if it doesn't appear to us that actually it's getting easier for us to understand, then something isn't right. Like if 5 years back when we used to read a scripture, and now we are reading, and there's the same thing that, like it's non-different, then something is not right. Because it will make easier for us, right, to understand if we are putting our sincerity in our devotional service. Because remember, that step that we discussed, step by step, how it happens. That first when the surrender happened, right, from surrender comes to intelligence, right? And again, same verse, like we say, Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. That is the surrender part. Dadami buddhi yogenaptam. So I gave them intelligence. So surrender, intelligence. The intelligence comes. And from that intelligence comes sincerity. The sincerity yields three things. Right? It gives us, first, what does it give us? It has three things. We discussed that last time. First, it gives utsaha, enthusiasm. Second, conviction. Third, patience. So, with this thing, if you think that if you just take them one by one, if utsaha is not there, then will I be I'm just not finding any utsaha. Means I'm not picking up the book, I'm not listening, or I'm not sitting in the class, I'm not listening. Shravanam. To do that, you need the utsaha. And this utsaha, where that is coming from? From the conviction that yes, Prithivite joto ache nagaradir gram, sarbotra prochar hoibe mor nam. Conviction. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, so it will happen. When what's my duty? Jiver Sharupa hai Krishna Nitya Das. My duty is to be an instrument in that prophecy. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told us, we have to do everything to make it happen. So that's the conviction that it's going to happen, but now it's up to me. I have to get involved. So that is that conviction part. And the third thing is patience. Yeah, it's not happening, I'm not getting it, but still pushing, still trying. Sometimes what happens that we just let it go. That's not patience. Patience is something that we are trying, and it's like every time, like even if someday I find out that okay, yeah, now it's making sense to me. Like there is one of Maharaj's classes. Like whenever I used to hear them at the beginning, didn't make any sense to me. Like it used to go over my head. I was like, man, it's something is not happening right. But then after a few years, I said, okay, yeah, now something. Because when that happened, when I started to read the books, only after that. Before that, it's just like, whew. So the patience also needs to be there. And these three goes hand in hand. Enthusiasm, conviction, and patience. Every time. These are the three main, pillar in our devotional life. And they're proportional, so it's not like someone has lots of enthusiasm, but they don't have any patience or they don't have conviction. If your enthusiasm, patience grows, then your conviction also will be there. Because why your patience is growing? Because you're convinced it's going to happen. And when the conviction is growing, your enthusiasm is also growing. Patience comes, from Trinada Pi Suni Chena Tarureva Sahishuna Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. Patience is coming from there. We are getting patience. Yes. It's increasing conviction and then it's increasing our enthusiasm. And that's why, just coming back to this verse, what is saying that the knowledge is very important. But more important than that, what we are going to do with this knowledge. We are sitting here listening to this, it's all wonderful. But what's the next step? If the knowledge makes sense to us, then we should focus on it, surrender. Only after that it will happen. From surrender, sincerity, enthusiasm, conviction, patience. And that actually will take us to this path of Krishna consciousness while we are alive. And at that time of death, we will remember Krishna. Because our devotional life is built on these three pillars. Three pillars are there. It will make sure that during the time of death, we will remember Krishna. That is the process. So on that note, I would like to end here. Grantaraj, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nithai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.